Hi everybody, I am Husky Light. Thank you for stopping by. Let me move my microphone and make sure it's in the right place. A quick one. I thought I'd do a little video all on its own just about intuition, what intuition is, how it helps you in daily life, how you can use it, and a little bit about how linked it is into your third eye. And also what you can see through your third eye as well when you close your eyes, which will help people as well on the awakening process to know if you've actually awoken the eye or not. So intuition, I touched on it briefly in the Q&A for April, and I said I'd do a separate video on it. In its most extreme sense, intuition is that feeling when you walk into a very, very dark room and there is some mad psychotic axeman stood in the corner with a big axe. He's very quiet. He blends in with the background. It's very dark. There's no lights in this room. But as you walk into the room, and everybody would be able to feel this because it's on such an extreme basis. So this is why I'm using this example as an extreme. The hairs on the back of your neck would stand up for a start. You would freeze in your tracks. You wouldn't want to go any further into the room. Your senses would be screaming at you. Your mind would be screaming at you, get out, get out, get out. There's something wrong. Something's not right here. You may get the shivers. You may get a cold feeling come over you. You may suddenly feel a little bit faint. You will get a sick feeling in your stomach because of it as well, most likely. These feelings are your intuition and your third eye kicking in, saying get out quickly. Yeah, you can't see the bloke in the corner. You can't see him because he's blended in, but everything carries an energy, everything carries a vibration. So you would be feeling the danger, the psychotic thoughts, the sickness of this person's energy pouring out from him, coming towards you, and you would pick up on that vibe. Because I say every situation, every person, everything around you has a certain energy that's oscillating at a certain frequency, that's going at a certain speed. Everything has its own speed. Everything has its own energy. Whatever it is, even if you think it's an inanimate object like a table or a lamp or everything has got its own energy. Everything is moving constantly, and you would be able to pick up on that. His energy would be vile, absolutely vile. It would make you feel sick. You would be able to pick up on that because it would be so strong. Now that's something that everybody would be able to pick up on. So for the normal everyday person, normally they can't pick up on everything unless their third eye is open. When you're asleep, when you're just working in a 3D sense, things work differently. When you're not aware of vibrations or energies around you at all, you're not picking up on these because your third eye isn't open, your intuition is blocked, your chakras aren't open, it's not working properly. So you're unaware of these sort of things. Apart from if it was a psychotic person in the corner of the room, then you would feel it because it's just too strong to ignore. But on a normal day-to-day basis, you tend not to be able to pick up on things like this. Also, you think about this, your third eye is your intuition, it's your gut feeling, it's your higher self talking to you, and it will come through in lots of different ways, whether you have thoughts come into your head or whether you have a feeling come towards you or a feeling overcomes you. If you're empathic like that, you can, once things are opening up for you, you can pick up on other people's vibrations, other people's energies. The energy of a situation in a room. You know that when you walk into a room sometimes and maybe two people within that room have just had a really bad argument, and you walk in and you say that you could cut that atmosphere with a knife, That's because the energy that has been built up within that room because of these two people arguing has become palpable, has become something that you can physically feel, and it hits you as you walk into the room again. It's something that you can feel. Now, not everybody can pick up on things like that. I can walk into a room and I know if somebody's died in there, which is a much subtler, much more softer energy, subtler energy. But the higher your vibration gets, the more open your chakras are, the more open your third eye is, the more sensitive you become to the energies around you, of people, of situations, of things. That's why some people can pick up an object that belonged to somebody else and hold it and pick up the vibration. My lamp's just gone. So my vibrations are obviously getting a little bit higher. It just flashed at me. They can touch objects, hold an object, and from that they can tell who the person was that owned it, what they were like, whether they were male or female, because the essence of that person's energies has been held and stored within that object. I can't remember the actual name of that particular gift, but that's how sensitive they are, and they can do it by doing it like that. Now, when I first started making videos, I think one of the first videos I ever made was all about my parking angel, which probably everybody laughed at, but I thought it was amazing because I was just waking up and just beginning to harness the power of my own higher self and my guides and angels, and just becoming aware of things. I could find parking spaces wherever I went, even when the whole of the car park looked absolutely chock-a-block. And it took me a while to figure out why or how this was happening. But once I began to just completely trust in the universe and trust in my higher self and my third eye, it happens all the time now. My kids, or I've got a friend down the road who's always knocking on my door going, give me a lift to the shops, and I have to get in the car and give him a lift to the shops. He's got to the shops before now and gone, you're never going to get anywhere to park. There's just nowhere to park. And I go, don't worry, my parking angel's on it. And within seconds or a couple of minutes of me being in that car park, I will happen to be right in the right place at the right time, and the person in front, there'll be a car in front that's already parked and it'll back out, and I'll just be in the right place to just pull into it, or I'll just drive around the corner just as somebody else is pulling out and get there before somebody else. And it's amazing, and I do it every single time. And I can do it in traffic as well. If I'm stuck at a junction and there's a load of traffic going past me, I'll just sit there going, space, 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 come on. And the space will appear, and I'll be able to get out, or somebody will stop for me and allow me to come out, drive out into it. So it's amazing how it works. On a day-to-day basis, when you're not awake, when your third eye isn't awake, you are very, very focused on what you're doing. You are dealing in your 3D world. I'm sorry, the camera just shook because the cat just jumped onto the table. You're dealing in a 3D world. That's what you know. You're dealing with your five senses: your touch, your taste, your smell, your hearing, your seeing, and that's all you're dealing with. You're very focused. It's like having blinkers on when they put blinkers on a horse. And so if you, for instance, if you go into that car park and you're not awake, you are sat within that car park looking at all these spaces that are full of cars. You're very, very focused on what you're doing, and you're just sat there going, I don't know. Every space in front of me is full up. Every space in front of me has a car within it, so I don't know how to get a parking space. You don't know, because your third eye is not open yet, that in the next aisle along, if you turned your car around and drove around that way, somebody would be just backing out and you would get that space. But because you're very focused, you can't see over there. When your third eye is open, your third eye isn't looking in the 3D part, it's looking from a higher perspective down on things. So it's like your guides and angels, your higher self, is having an aerial view of the car park, It's looking down on the whole of the car park. It's not looking down on just where you are looking out of your window from your driving. Sorry. Stop it! Now it's scratching. Stop! Thank you. And it'll start again in a minute. It's a cat. They're totally independent. She really doesn't care what I say. And he'll do it deliberately now. So, your third eye, your chakra, your third chakra, your intuition, your gut feeling, it looks down on the whole situation. It looks down on the whole of the car park. It can see already, and it can see slightly ahead of time as well, which I'll explain in a minute. But your higher self and your guides and angels can see slightly ahead of time as well. They warp time because time doesn't exist. They can see that in the next aisle, somebody's just got into a car and they're about to drive off. Okay, so if your third eye's open, you will hear a little voice inside your head, or you will get a feeling, and you'll just suddenly think to yourself, no, I'm not going to sit here waiting for a space. I'm just going to go down there and get it. I'm just going to go around the corner here. That's your guides and angels telling you to go around the corner because they've already seen that other car is about to drive out. So you drive around the corner, you just happen to be there when that car comes out. And it looks very, very, very lucky when you do that. And then when you do it all the time and you've got friends in the car with you, you go, how the hell are you doing that? How's that working? And it's just because I'm trusting in my guide. They can see more than I can on a physical 3D level. They're into 4D, 5D. They can see the whole of the thing, and they can see slightly ahead of me as well. Another example of that in driving, you come to a junction and you're going to turn right at a junction. That's the way you always go. That's the way you know. Maybe you're going off to the supermarket, maybe you're going off to a friend's house. That's the way that you usually go. So you come to the junction and you stop. And you're sitting there and you've got your indicator on to turn right, and then suddenly you think, no, I'm not going to go that way, I'm going to go left. You have no idea where that thought came from, and it's a very quick decision. It's there, but you turn and you follow it. You don't ignore it. A lot of people ignore their intuition in the third eye. A lot of people go, oh, that was a stupid thought, I'm going to turn right anyway. You think, oh no, I'm going to turn left, and you do, and you turn left. And as you turn left and you go down the road and you look in your rearview mirror, you can see that if you'd have turned right, somebody's just had a crash down there. Somebody's just crashed their car. You would have been in a jam forever. You would have been stuck. You could have been in that car accident as well, because you could have been the car behind it when that happened, when they slammed on their brakes. You would have gone into the other car. You didn't. You turned left though. And that's absolutely fine. You have avoided danger. You have gone a different way and still got to where you were going to get to without being stuck or injured or in danger. So that is what and it works in all different manner of examples. You know, you meet somebody online and you decide you're going to go out on a date with them, and you go on a date with them and you think, wow, they are wonderful and they're good looking and they're brilliant and they're fantastic, and you notice during the date that every girl in the room is looking at them. Every girl in the room wants to talk to this man. Every girl in the room and he's lapping it up, and he's like, yeah, and he's talking to them, and he's winking at them and smiling at them, and you sort of sit there to yourself and you think, that's quite strange, but it's okay, because I'm the one that's on a date with him. I'm the one that he's with. This is good. This is fine. This is fine. I am very lucky to be with this person because everybody else is looking and everybody else wants to be with him. What you don't realise, or what you're not noticing because you're not awake, is you're not cottoning on to the fact that he's not paying you that much attention. He's lapping up all the attention from all the other girls in the room. He's a player. He's a possible cheat in the future. Yeah, he's not giving you all his attention. That's what a date is all about, is, you know, getting to know one another. He's too interested in who's looking at him. His ego is that big. But you don't notice that. You just notice the fact that he's with you. Your intuition, if your third eye was open, would be screaming at you at this point, he's a player, stop it. You would probably finish the date with him, say thank you very much, and you'd never see him again because of the impression he gave to you. Yeah, you see where I'm coming from with that one. Yeah, your third eye can see so much more than you can. You're not working off your five senses, you're working off your six senses. Dogs can see, they can see things that we can't see. Cats can, a lot of animals can. They can sense more things. They can hear dog whistles, which means they can hear frequency with their ears, which we cannot, because it's out of our frequency. But just because we can't hear a dog whistle does not mean that the dog can't hear the dog whistle. We don't dismiss it. We know the dog can hear the dog whistle because it's on a different frequency. It still exists. It's just that our ears, the frequency of our ears, cannot pick up on that particular vibration. Now, I'm not saying when your third eye is open you can hear a dog whistle, because I don't think you can. Maybe you can, I don't know. Some people might be able to. But what I'm saying is, when your third eye is open, when you're listening to your intuition, you are taking in so much more than you normally take in on your five senses. So you're picking up on vibrations, you're able to assess situations, you are getting your aha moments, you're getting those thoughts that come into your head, those feelings about situations or other people. The fact that your guides and angels can see ahead of you and knows what's best for you because they see the whole of the picture. They're seeing it all from an aerial view. They can see the likely outcome of something if you go down this road. They can see what's going to happen if you talk to this person. They will prompt you. They will guide you. As long as you can listen to them, as long as you can hear them. The way to be able to hear them is to start meditating, to make sure you're looking after your body right, to make sure that you are not putting fluoride into your body from tap water, because that just it just kills your third eye. That's why they do it. It just kills it. Make sure that you're eating enough vegetables. Make sure you're being as healthy as you possibly can. Make sure you're not drinking yourself stupid every night. All of these things, you have to get healthy, and you have to start to look after yourself, and you have to start to look after your body. Now, obviously, during a Kundalini awakening or something like that, when all of your chakras suddenly open spontaneously from shock or trauma, near-death experiences, things like that, it's very fast, it's very quick, it's very traumatic when it happens, and you have to learn things as you go along. But again, if your third eye is open, it's telling you things for its own good. Now, if you get a little voice inside your head that says, go stab your husband when he comes home from work, as an extreme, you know that's not your guides and angels talking to you. You know that you've got something else in there talking to you that you shouldn't be listening to, that really shouldn't be there. And hopefully that's never happened to anyone. But what you have to be aware of, when your chakras open, when your third eye opens, you are open to everything. You're open to your guides and angels, but you're also open to other elementals that are out there. You're open to demons. You're open to ghosts and ghoulies and darker forces and everything else. And they can very easily use your body as a vessel and enter into you, just as your guides and angels can. This is where we have to be as healthy as we can and look after ourselves as much as we can. When we are drinking or smoking or not eating what we should do, not exercising regularly, not meditating, that's the most important thing, not meditating, we create holes in our energy field, in our aura. And when those rips occur, when those auras get holes in them, other things, other entities can come in. So if you ever hear a voice like that, don't follow it. It's not your guides and angels saying that to you. You know very well that if your guides and angels are saying something to you along the lines of hurt somebody else, be nasty to somebody else, think badly of somebody else, you know that that's not your guides and angels. You know that's not your higher good. It's not for your good. That's something else. In which case, go cut cords, go cleanse. This is why, keep crystals under your bed, things like that, which is probably a whole other video now. See how one video leads on to another one? And it just goes with it. So that is this is your intuition. This is how it works. This is what happens when I am having a problem, when I don't know the answers to something. The first thing I need to do is ask my angels, and I literally do ask them. The next thing I have to do to be able to hear the messages coming through for me, to be able to hear that intuition, those answers, I have to quieten my mind. I have to step back from what I am doing. I have to go take some deep breaths. I have to get calm within myself. I have to clear my mind. I have to raise my vibration, go and do something good, not be over emotional, get balanced within myself. That gives my guides and angels then a chance to be able to come in and talk to me, to guide me to a certain YouTube video, or to tell me to go out for a walk, to tell me to go to a certain place, to tell me to look up something, to guide me to the answer that I'm looking for. And that's how it works. Okay, moving on to certain things, how to tell if your third eye is actually open and if it's actually working for you. And I was actually talking with somebody about this morning. When I close my eyes, when I am meditating, I can see an awful lot of different things. But what you will find as a confirmation that your third eye is, there are certain things that you will see that are very common to show that your third eye is opening. So, do you remember those lava lamps? They're full of clear oil, I think, with coloured oil in, and as it heats up, it starts blobbing in and out and everything. When you've got your eyes closed and you're meditating, you can sometimes see purple blobs, and they will just blend in and out of each other. They'll go blob, 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 and you will see it as your eyes are closed, and you will know that it's coming in from the general direction of your third eye, because that's where your focus is as you're meditating. So you could see purple dots or purple blobs that are moving and blending into one another. They could be white, they could be lavender coloured, they could be gold coloured or yellow coloured as well. Mostly though, they're usually purple. What else can you see when your eye is closed? Sometimes you will see the universal grid, which I have seen a few times, which is quite surprising because it's different from usual. And it looks like, what does it look like? It looks like a big white silver metal grid, which is the grid that's around the earth. You can see that as well, keeping the energies in. It's the ceiling on things, which is a whole other video as well. But if you've ever closed your eyes and you have seen a grid-like structure, that is another indication that your third eye is open. What else can you see? Sometimes you can close your eyes during meditation and you can see the galaxy. So everything will be black and you can see stars, galaxies, twinkling little lights everywhere in your mind's eye, in your third eye. So that's really, really cool to see. Sometimes you will actually see your third eye. Your third eye will either be looking at you and blinking at you, and you can go hello and wave to it. Other times it will be turned around, so you're actually looking outwards. Usually, because your third eye is looking within, you will see it looking at you. So you will see the front of it. Sometimes you will see your third eye and it looks like it's in a box, or it looks like it's square as well. What else can you see? You can see all sorts. I closed my eyes a few weeks ago and I've seen the grid, I've seen the galaxy, I've seen the purple blobs every time when I close my eyes. I've seen bright white lights. I've seen a reptilian eye when I've closed my eyes occasionally, only a couple of times, but and I've told it to go away nicely because I knew that wasn't actually my third eye. Something else would have, slipped in during meditation and gone, woo, boo, at me. In which case, if anything comes through, if you get any sort of image through that isn't particularly nice. You know that you have to do a bit harder meditation, get strong, get rid of the fear, and just say, please go away, because that's just boring, I don't want it. And tell them nicely to go away. Before you start meditating, always just make sure that you're saying to yourself, I only want my highest angels, friends and family to come in and guide me. Anybody who is less than truthful, less than honest, or less than good in any way, shape or form, and it is no good for my highest good, is not allowed near me, is not allowed to come near me. And once you say things like that, they can't come near you. And if you believe that they can't come near you, then they definitely can't come near you. It's your belief system as well that does it. So that's some of the things that you can actually see when you close your eyes. Once you go deeper into meditation, you will get images before you. I've seen faces appear before me. I started to see little scenarios of things, and you just observe them as they're playing out in your third eye. You don't particularly know what they are. It's almost like dreaming, but you're awake. So it's having a vivid dream, but you're actually awake. And you're not thinking. You're not sort of thinking to yourself, because as soon as you start thinking to yourself, oh, what's that, and trying to figure it out, you will start to come out of your meditation. Then you'll start to wake up and come back. You have to just sort of observe it and let things happen and let things flow as your third eye is bringing you messages and that. So other things as well, when you are waking up, and I haven't had this for a while because again my energies are quite balanced and emotionally I'm quite balanced now, but certainly when I was waking up at certain times during the awakening process, I would get I've heard a dog bark in my ear, which I know is not good, but at the time I was like, oh cool, I've got a dog barking in my ear. Yeah. that would have been a lower energy form coming through to me, but obviously I didn't realise it at the time. These are just things that you have to, this is a learning process. These are things that you learn as you're going along. I've also heard bangs within my head with an accompanying very bright light. So your eyes are closed and you just hear bang, really loud, bright light as well at the same time. I think that's your crown chakra cracking open even more at times, and just the light flooding in. But you can literally be in meditation and that happens and you go, oh, sugar, what was that? And it can really startle you sometimes. There is also it's not tinnitus, but it's also a sign of getting downloads, or it's like a very high-pitched whining noise in one or the other ear, very, very occasionally. It's not all the time by any means. It will be only occasionally, but it's like a really high-pitched whine. And I don't get it that often anymore, and I think that's just because I'm pretty balanced now. I think they are updates or downloads. I think they are, again, your third eye and your crown chakra opening and becoming balanced, and it's your DNA changing, it's your body changing, it's your third eye becoming more aware, and you're just taking in certain resonances and vibrations and things like that. So it's nothing particularly to worry about. If you hear that, you haven't got tinnitus or anything like that. If you hear a dog bark, kindly ask it to go away, because it's all very nice, but that was probably something that was a little lesser than my highest good. It didn't do me any harm, it didn't scare me, it didn't do anything. But I doubt that was one of my guides or angels at the time when it actually happened. And if anything appears that you don't like or starts to look a bit malevolent, bad, again, take some deep breaths and just ask them to go away. But once you get to a certain point, that doesn't really happen anyway. But it's something that may happen as you go through your awakening. That's why when I went through my awakening and I didn't have anyone to talk to, I got really scared, because there was all sorts of things happening. And you can produce things with your third eye as well. When your third eye is open, A lot of the synchronicities that you will see on a day-to-day basis is because your third eye is physically reproducing them, because it's gone, your third eye's open, you've seen an image of a yellow car or something, it's gone into your third eye and then it's reproduced it later on. So you could see 3, 4, 5 yellow cars in one day when you never ever see them. You have a conversation about a certain subject, you get excited about that conversation as you're having it, and then it will happen later on, and come into your reality later on, and you sit there, I've just been talking about that, that's just been happening. That's because your third eye is reproducing. You are co-creating with your third eye. To get the things that you really want, you need to go into your heart chakra and start co-creating with your heart chakra. But on a day-to-day basis, when your third eye is open, that will happen. You'll just repeat things as you go through. There are also other reasons why you will see things multiple times in one day, or say you haven't been talking about a yellow car, say you haven't been talking about a yellow car or an orange car or something, and one appears and then you see another one. This could be a message from your guides and angels going, orange cars, go and work on your you've got a blockage in your chakras, you've got a blockage in your solar plexus. They will come through as messages for you. So it may be that you've not been talking about orange cars or yellow cars or whatever, but suddenly you start seeing them everywhere. That's your angels, your highest good, trying to get a message through to you. It's then that you have to decipher what that message is that's coming through to you, which can be quite difficult sometimes. I've been seeing horseshoes everywhere lately, not understanding why I'm seeing horseshoes. I know horseshoes remind me of my twin flame, because I met him at a pub called the Three Horseshoes when we first met, but I kept thinking, oh, why am I seeing horseshoes? But I realised in numerology and everything, if you break down the word horseshoe, horse is 11, shoe is 11, so it's 1111. So instead of showing me the number 1111, they decided they were going to show me horseshoes instead. And also horseshoes are very lucky, and also horseshoes are very protective against darker energies if need be. And I know that we are going through a certain period at the moment of Beltane, I think it's called, where there are darker things at work at the moment, and I've just ordered a horseshoe which arrived this morning, which I'm going to charge up and put some good affirmations within the horseshoe and put it under my pillow as something just for added protection, because I'm going off the advice that my guides and angels have given me. It's a darker time at the moment. I'm very open to things because my third eye's open, so maybe at the moment I just need a little bit more protection. So that's what I've done. I've ordered one, and I'll get it charged up and do it, just like I charge up my crystals. So hopefully this has helped you a little bit. If you've got any questions, put them below. But I just thought that I would. Apologies for my daughter walking past with a sandwich when I'm about to make dinner. Yeah, let me know. Hopefully that I'd help. I said I'd do a video on it, so it's done, and I think I've rattled on for a bit. But hopefully that gives you a little bit more of an insight into things. And it's a while since I've done a video like this. I think I used to do quite a few of these sort of videos when I first started the channel, and I might actually dig up some of the old ones and put a new spin on them and go through some of them. But for the moment, hopefully this will help. Okay, namaste, blessings and light. Thank you. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for subscribing. Remember, if you want a personal reading from me, click up on the link in the corner, and yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Okay, bye.